Alright, welcome back to another episode of Our Shakespeare, where today, Toe Fungus and I, Big John, will be discussing Macbeth.
We have randomly selected one topic from all of your suggestions last week, and today's topic will be: is Macbeth solely responsible for his and Lady Macbeth's demise? Well, what do you think, Big John?
Okay, well, Fungus, I believe Macbeth was not the only person responsible for their demise. I actually think Lady Macbeth and the witches both played equal roles. Like, Macbeth was just manipulated and used like a tool by both parties.
On the contrary, I believe that Macbeth is responsible for his and Lady Macbeth's demise, because ultimately he made his own choices and should be held accountable for them.
Okay, well, I think Macbeth did not make the first choices that set him down the wrong path. Like, in Act 1, Scene 3, line 50, the witches ambush Macbeth and say, "All hail Macbeth, that shalt be king hereafter." Like, the witches gave Macbeth unsolicited prophecies, and this shows the witches are the one who planted the seeds of evil in Macbeth's mind in the first place, right? Like, Macbeth was a perfectly normal, loyal nobleman, and if it weren't for the witches meddling, Macbeth would never have contemplated killing King Duncan. Like, Macbeth was not seeking out the witches, they just gave him malicious prophecies to manipulate Macbeth's ambitious personality, while the witches would sit back and enjoy the chaos ensuing.
However, it was Macbeth's choice to listen to the witches in the first place, and allow the prophecies to influence his actions. From lines 132 to 133 of that exact same scene, Macbeth states, "The supernatural soliciting cannot be ill, cannot be good." Macbeth acknowledges the supernatural nature of the witches' prophecies, and how their intent raises suspicion. Despite all of this, his greed takes over, and he becomes convinced by the tempting prophecies. This shows that Macbeth actively decided to take matters into his own hands, inferring that there was an evil inside of him from the beginning. If Macbeth was the loyal kinsman that Duncan described in Act 1, Scene 4, Macbeth would have never considered the atrocities he would commit. Macbeth was never coerced into doing anything, but his unchecked ambition permitted the evil inside him to take control.
Okay, I kind of disagree there. There was no evil in him. It was the witches who were the evil ones, and they, poisoned him. In Act 4, Scene 1, lines 39 and 40, right? We witness their leader, Hecate, praising the witches when she says, "Oh, well done. I commend your pains, and everyone shall share in the gains." So this is referencing how she obviously approves of the witches' evil meddling in Macbeth's destiny, and how the witches and Hecate were trying to manipulate Macbeth's weaknesses to cause strife in Scotland for their own twisted pleasure. Like, later in the scene, from lines 68 to 94, the witches show Macbeth 3 apparitions that further mislead Macbeth, give him false confidence to coax him deeper into his madness and confusion. Like, all the evidence points towards the witches purposely trying to ruin Macbeth's life, and I don't know, if this doesn't convince you the witches are weird, manipulative, deranged psychos, I don't know what will.
Well, I think Macbeth ruined his own life by committing atrocious crimes such as murdering King Duncan. Act 1, Scene 7 begins with Lady Macbeth scorning Macbeth, as he is hesitant after realizing the situation around killing Duncan. Eventually, Macbeth gives into her insults of his cowardice, and on lines 80 to 83, he defeatedly says, "I'm settled and bond up, each corporal agent to the courageous feat, away and mock the time with fair show." This quote shows how Macbeth chose to surrender to Lady Macbeth's ridicule and mockery entirely by his own accord. Macbeth's hesitation marks the end of his innocence, because to concede to Lady Macbeth's insults means to, by some magnitude, agree with Lady Macbeth's belief to kill Duncan. Macbeth is the true villain because he was capable of recognizing the consequences of killing Duncan, but became too obsessed with his desire for the crown.
No, Macbeth didn't really choose to surrender to Lady Macbeth. He was not in a clear state of mind when he committed the murder. He was obviously mentally unwell due to his wife belittling him and attacking his manhood. In Act 1, Scene 7, lines 49 and 51, right? She says, "When you durst do it, then you were a man. And to be more than what you were, you'd be so much more the man." Like, imagine being disrespected by the love of your life, your wife, okay? Lady Macbeth took advantage of Macbeth's pride and abused his love for her by destroying his self-confidence and making him feel like killing King Duncan would be the only way to restore Lady Macbeth's, respect and his own manhood. Macbeth was not capable of thinking properly about the consequences, as he was focused on winning Lady Macbeth's trust back. This is what sets Macbeth down the path leading to the couple's inevitable doom.
I see what you mean, but Macbeth loses all chance of sympathy after ordering for the murder of Macduff's family. Unlike previous instances, this plan was entirely Macbeth's. When he reapproaches the witches in Act 4, Scene 1, he learns that Macduff is a threat to his throne. Additionally, news of Macduff's trip to England catalyzes Macbeth's plans to thwart the prophecy. On lines 167 to 168, he says, "Seize upon Fife, give to the edge o' the sword, his wife, his babes, and all unfortunate souls." This means that he wants to strip Macduff of all his belongings, be it his wife and children. What stands out is how he addresses the ones he will kill as unfortunate souls rather than fellow humans who are undeserving of such a premature death. He doesn't see them as humans who deserve mercy, but as nobodies who are collateral damage to his will. Although Macbeth is not killing people himself, it is evident that the evil inside him has completely corrupted him and taken over.
Well, that's time. And I think you're wrong. But for the viewers that stayed with us to the end, let us know who you think won, and have a suggestion for next week's topic in the comments down below. I hope you guys have a nice day, and we'll see you next time on Our Shakespeare.
Don't forget to like and subscribe.
Who won? Who's next? You decide!